Okay, Assalamualaikum. How is everyone? I hope everyone is feeling good today. And please bear with me. Today we are going to do another session for English. And for today's session, I'll focus on narrative writing. Okay, SPM 2023 narrative writing. Okay, by the way, I'm Miss Nur Zailaiti Akmal binti Muhammad Zain from Sekolah Menengah Tahfiz Al-Quran. And today, as I mentioned, we are going to discuss about narrative writing. Okay. First of all, let me tell you the parts of my sessions today. Okay, my sessions today will only cover three parts. The first part will be the overview, and the second one will be the tips on how to write narrative writings, and part three will be some sharing on how you can create vivid imagination or vivid description. Okay, let's move on. Let's proceed to the first part, which is the overview of narrative writing. Okay, basically, narrative writing will be in part 3 of your paper 2. Okay, paper 2, I think you are aware that paper 2, for paper 2 we have 3 parts, and story or narrative writing will be one of the question in part 3, and normally it is placed as question number 5. Okay, the word will be around 200 to 150 words only, and the allocation of time, the suggested time for you to spend that in part 3 for writing story would be around 40 minutes. So you can have time around 15 minutes for writing emails and also guide writing. Okay, before we proceed, basically, what does it mean by narrative writing? Okay, and in my school, I asked my students, narrative, and they can't answer me. Okay, basically, narrative writing means story. You are writing story. It is a writing that tells a story. And narrative can be real or imagined. It means that writing narrative can be based on your true story or you can create it. Okay, it does not necessarily to be entirely truth. Okay, you can use your imagination and creativity to write stories. Okay, and actually narrative should be written in full of basically narrative is full of interesting details, right? Because you need to give you need to give in detailed explanation for writing. Okay, it is full of interesting detail, and it can also be written in, okay, point of view. Okay, you can write it in your own point of view, or you can write it as third person point of view. All right. Okay. So let's proceed. Okay. Now let's discuss, or let's have a sharing on the tips to write narrative writing. Okay, the most important element in writing narrative will be, okay, you should have the idea of what you are going to write. Okay, the plot will be the sequence of your story. Okay, how your story starts and how it ends. Okay, let's have a look on the element that you should have in your plot. Okay, basically, the story is divided into parts. The first part will be the beginning of the story. Second, we have middle, and third one, the last one, we have ending. Okay, in the beginning of your story, this is where you introduce or say or explain the setting. Okay, setting for your story and expose, okay, what your story is about. Okay, in the beginning of the scene, you should tell the audience about the settings. The setting would be place, time, and social characters. And in the beginning, you might also want to expose your audience about regarding what your story will be about. Okay, what is the topic of your story? Okay, second, in the middle part of your narrative writing, you should expose about the conflict. Okay. What is the conflict or issue, problem? Okay. The mystery of the story of life. Okay, in the middle part, you should introduce the conflict, issue, problem, or the mystery that occur in your story. And the ending, it will be the closing of your story. Alright. Okay, basically for narrative, you should give detailed explanation on how your story starts and how it ends. Okay, let's proceed. Okay, I hope you're familiar with this chart, this figure, or this, I will call it as charts, okay, or graph. Okay, here we call it as Freytag pyramid. I think we commonly use it to show sequence of event in narrative, either in BM or in English literature. Okay, first let's have a look what we should have in there are 5 elements in Freytag pyramid. The first one we will have the exposition, then we move on to the rising action, and on the tip of the pyramid we have the climax, follow up by falling action, and last one it's end with the resolution. Okay, what are the elements, what are the things that we should write in each part or in each element of Freytag pyramid? Okay, so let's have a look at the next slide. Okay, here will be the suggested structure. Okay, basically for introduction paragraph, the first paragraph, we will write about the exposition. Okay, what are the things that you should write in your exposition or the beginning of the story? Okay, here you can write about what the story is about, and you can introduce the character, as well as you want to state where the story takes place. Okay, this is what I meant by setting. Okay, and here you also can introduce the main issue. Okay, the main issue means the topic of your writing story, your story. Okay, and then in the second paragraph, we suggested that we write about the rising action. Okay, rising action will be representing the crisis faced by the character or the text. Okay, let me clarify it. For the character, I hope you know that okay, we have protagonist and also antagonist. So when you draft your story, you might want to think of all the main characters and also the minor characters. Okay, first, okay, let's discuss this again. First, in the rising action, you should write about the crisis faced by the character, and also do not leave out the description of the crisis. Descriptions of the crisis will be very important because it will give clear view to the readers. Okay, if you just simply write the crisis without the description, okay, your audience or might understand the story. Okay, and next element will be the climax. Okay, climax will be at the peak of the story. Okay, this is where the major event experienced by the character. It means that if you introduce problem in raising action, okay, climax will be the worst point of the problem. Okay, and after the problem, obviously we will come out with the solution. Solution will take place at the fourth paragraph, at the falling action. Solution. And before you leave your audience, okay, you can safely leave your audience with a solution. Okay, you should at least write the ending. Okay, it is just like how you read or how you watch drama. Every drama has ending. Yes, Akapul Derulo, morning. Okay, morning. Thank you for joining the session. Okay, sorry. And as how you watch movies or drama, every movies and drama has a beginning and it will be ending. Okay, so the same with your native writing. You should introduce, you should begin, and you need to have the ending. You cannot leave your reader hanging and wonders about the story, how the story will end. Okay, so resolution, so that's why we have resolution. It clarifies how the stories end. Okay, you can end the story like by setting the moral values. Okay, you can give promise, or you can show gratitude, as well as you can pre up your whole story, right? Or maybe you can also write about the effect, okay, the effect of overcoming the problem. Okay, I hope if I talk too fast or you can't catch up to what I said, please let me know so that I can rephrase or I can just repeat. Okay, okay. Here I have an examples of how examples writing of how can we write the exposition. Okay, first let's read it together. It is a winter day where this all started for me. I was a subject for different people to talk and laugh about. I had sport that day, and as I stood in the change room, I noticed how developed the other girls were. I looked at myself and saw a very skinny person. That was not only the day I realized how I look, but everyone else did too. Okay, and as I mentioned, in exposition, we introduce the settings. Okay. So please focus on the phrases that I highlighted. Okay, the first one will be winter day. Okay, winter day will indicate the setting of time. Okay, and then the blue one, change room, it will indicate the setting of place, while the pink one will indicate the character. Okay, so there in exposition, you have all your settings. Okay, next in exposition, you should also give a glimpse of what your story will be about. Okay, please refer to this one, the last sentence. Okay, it is about how the character looked and how everyone looked at her. Okay, this one will be the hint of topic. All right. Okay, so let's have a look at the rising action. Okay, the rising action will be the start of the conflict. Okay, in rising action, the conflict started to happen. Okay, focus on the phrases that I highlighted, but we will read it everything. Okay, we will read everything together. Okay, I remember walking out of the change room. I noticed the boys were looking out at all the girls and then they shift their eyes to me. That was the first day I was ever called a stick. Okay, this one indicating that the problem is starting. Okay, for months after that, I was consistently bullied for my body size. Okay, here there will be the introduction of the issue. Okay, the problem or the crisis that the character faced. I went to school and all I received was hatred. Okay, this one is another description for the situation, for the crisis. Okay, guys will walk past and shout, flat pack. I always get spiteful remarks like, why will you wear loose clothes? You don't need one. Okay, again, spiteful remark. Okay, again, this one is the description of the crisis. Okay, I will always hear the same jokes being said about me. It was like a non-stop hurricane of hate. Okay, it means that she consistently received the remark from her friends, from her peer at school, for something I could not help, something I could not fix. Okay, and here I hope you notice that in rising action, what I'm trying to highlight here is, okay, the start of the conflict as well as the description. Okay, based on the rising action, I think you notice that the topic will be bullying. Okay, the topic is being bullied or bullying at school. Okay, let's have a look at the climax. Climax will be the worst point of the crisis. Okay, since the girl is consistently being bullied at school, so obviously she will receive some effects of it from it. Okay, so in the climax, okay, the person said, the character said, I started to have suicidal thought. Okay, this will be the first effects of being bullied, the worst point of being bullied. Okay, and then she consumed a lot of supplement. Okay, since she was so skinny, she will try a lot of weight gain supplement out there that she can find online. And since she took a lot of supplement, she suffered another series of problem, which is breathing problem. Okay, the reason she had breathing problem is because, okay, this one. She had taken supplement that were not certified, and this indicate that she had major sign of major depression. Okay, so this will be worst point number number one, and major depression will be the worst point number two. Okay, and having serious problem, breathing problem, taking lots of supplement will be the description. Okay, descriptions of the pain that she felt, or the effects of being bullied. Okay, all right. Okay, next one, following action. Okay, after struggling with the trouble, obviously we should, or someone should help her. Okay, this one we promote solution for the problem. Okay, again, we focus on the highlighted word. After knowing about my problem, my parents insisted me to give the name of the bullies. Okay, so here the parents took action. Okay, since the character has suffered major depression, so the parent will help with the solution. Okay, here I want to highlight that the solution does not necessarily be done by the character. It can be done by other character who help him or her. Okay, so in this case, the character received help from her parents. Okay, what did the parent do? Okay, first, the parent ask her to give the name of the bullies and report to the school authority. Okay, after the news, or after the report being submitted to the school, okay, so the teacher the teacher would start with the investigation. Okay, and after the investigation, after the teacher find the real bullies, okay, and the punishment will be served by them. Okay, so basically for this character, let me repeat, the solution is done by other characters, the parent and also the teacher. Okay, the resolution, the ending of the story. Okay, let's have a look how the stories end. Okay, I looked at the life ahead of me. I left the world of hate to enter a better one as I started to spread the awareness on cyberbullying and to extend help to the victim. I hope one day the people who bullied me will see the kind of pain they have caused to an innocent person and that bullying is wrong and tear people's life apart. Okay, here the story ends with the character find the purpose after the tragedy. Okay, here, let's have a look here. Not cyberbullying, it's on bullying. Okay, here the character ends with by showing the sorry the story ends with the character started to help other bully victims. Okay, so that the other person will not experience the thing that she had experienced. Okay, and she also stated her hope here. So basically, your conclusion should it should not take too long. Okay, it can be just as simple as this. As long as you actually wrap your story and end your story by stating what actually happened and give hope or promises, and I think it will be good. All right, okay, let's proceed. This one, tip number 2 for writing narrative. Okay, for writing narrative, you might want to include an incident or incident that creates suspense. Okay, what are the incidents that can create suspense? Okay, maybe you can talk about a robbery. Okay, a kidnapping. Okay, an adventure. Okay, basically an incident that will keep your readers reading your or can keep the reader's attention to read your narrative. Okay, so you should include the suspense element in your writing. Okay, and you might also want to include, or you can also include the unforgettable event. Maybe it can be sharing about your holiday experience. Okay, you can write about festival, okay, memorable festival or celebration. Okay, basically any event that will be memorable for you. Okay, unforgettable means memorable. Okay, things that you cannot forget. Okay, and in your writing, you can also add your life-changing experience. Okay, life-changing experience will be maybe after facing challenges or trouble. Okay, or after solving problem. Okay, or it can be after finding the truth or unveiling the truth or mystery. Okay, basically, okay, to make things clearer, okay, do you still remember the ending of the story just now? Okay, that would be indicating, okay, here, life-changing experience after the character suffered challenges and trouble in her life, which is being bullied at school. Okay, and for your narrative writing, it is very important for you to create vivid descriptions of character. It means that vivid means clear. So you need to portray your character as clear as possible. Okay, you can use adjectives here. Okay, writing narrative requires you to have lots of vocabularies and use of adjective because you need to describe things, and description work closely together with the adjective. Alright. Okay, and tips number 3. Identify the tenses. Okay, the tenses will be, you can use either past tense or present. However, my suggestion is for you to stick on using past tense, unless you can use present if you want to create dialogue. Okay. All right. Okay. Now here we are going to discuss about creating vivid description. Okay. Still remember what is the meaning of vivid description? Okay. Well done. Okay. Vivid description means clear description. Sorry. Okay, in order for you to create vivid description, there are some things that you can do for in your writing, or that you can include in your writing. First, you can include visual details, and you can also describe the feelings or emotion felt by the characters. Okay, dialogues. You can include dialogues and also sound in your writing. Later on, we will look at sample answers, right? To show how you put sounds, how you put dialogue in the essay, in the writing stories. And as I mentioned, you need to use a lot of adjective, as well as give action in your story. Stila, okay? As Acapulco. I don't know how to pronounce your word, your name. Okay, Achap or Achap. Not sure. Okay, so and you can also add literary device. For examples of literary device would be simile, personification, personification, metaphor. Okay, I think you have learned this in your class. Okay, and all of this leads to the use of 5+1 senses. Okay, we have the sense of sight, hear, touch, smell, taste, and feel. Okay, these 5+1 senses will help us to write better descriptions or better view of what we see, what we hear during the event. Okay, here I have an example. Let's say you are walking in at an autumn forest. Okay, during autumn season. Okay, first, okay, imagine that you're walking during autumn season. Okay, why the things that you can see will be, okay, the yellow leaf fell off the tree. Okay, since it's autumn, so it is, okay, obviously the leaf started to fall off the trees. So the first thing that I can see during autumn would be the leaf fell off the trees. Okay, and during that situation, we might hear something. Okay, what can be here during that time? Okay, so swoosh. Okay, swoosh would be indicating that, okay, the sound. Remember that I mentioned you can add sound. Okay, swoosh. Okay, the sounds of the wind. Okay, swoosh. The yellow leaf fell off the big tree. And the third sense will be touch. What you can touch. Okay, touch here does not necessarily indicating what you touch by your hand. Okay, basically everything that your body can touch, your feet, your body. Okay, here the example here would be swoosh. The dry yellow leaf fell off the big tree. So during that situation, during that time, okay, I actually stepped on dry leaf. So that's why I indicate it as sense of touch. Okay, the next sense will be smell. What can you smell during that time? Oh, you like paranormal stories. Okay, it's okay. That is your preference. But basically, the structure will be the same. Okay, let's do some mystery or thriller later on. All right, okay, I have question ready for all of us. Okay, smell. What can you smell? Okay, here. Swoosh. The autumn sun. I smell the leaves. Okay, the dried leaf. I hope you can imagine how the dry leaf smell. Okay, it would smell like dry or earthy smell, scents. Okay, and then taste would be basically what you can taste by using your tongue. Okay, and okay, my imagination is that during that time, during walking during in autumn, okay, I ate my ice cream. I was having ice cream, and it tastes sweet. So that's why I use sweets to indicate my taste. What I taste, what you can taste. I cannot say that I can taste the leaf because obviously I will not eat the leaf. So I add another element to make it interesting. Okay, while I was walking, I enjoyed eating my sweet ice cream. And last one, you might want to close your description with what you feel. Okay, yeah, imagine walking at the for autumn forest with the autumn sun while having ice cream. For me, it is a total bliss, a total happiness. Okay, and to use five plus one senses, you does not necessarily follow this sequence. Okay, sorry, 4, 5, 6. Okay, you can start with whichever sense that you want to start with. Okay, you might want to start with the taste first. Okay, it's basically up to you how you actually arrange the use of the senses. Okay, now we have come to the part where I have some sample answer for you. A sample answer for you. Sample answer. Before I reveal the sample answer, I will give the sample question first, isn't it? So I cannot simply give the sample answer without giving you question. Okay, the question that I have here would be, okay, let's read it together. Your teacher has asked you to write a story for your school magazine. Okay, the story must have the title, okay, and abduction attempt. Okay, abduction mean kidnapped. Okay, so attempt mean try. Similar to try, it means that some kidnapper, some someone try to kidnap, do the kidnapping. Okay, your story should include, okay, a description of the abduction attempt. Okay, the description. And second, how it was foiled. How the abduction was foiled. Here, foiled means how it's actually stopped. Okay, the way prevented. How the abduction was prevented. Okay. First of all, before we start writing, we need to analyze the question. Okay, the most basic step in writing will be analyzing the question. So let's analyze the question that we have. Okay, here. First of all, you need to know the format that you need to write. Okay, first we have here the style of format will be story or narrative. So you are writing stories. Okay, what about the title? Okay, the title is An Abduction Time. Okay. Okay, what about the content point? Okay, the content point will be the C1 will be the indicating the first bullet, which is the description of the scene. Okay, the descriptions of the abduction attempt. Okay, you need to describe, give clear detail about the abduction. Okay, second one, C2 and C3, the ways. You need to at least provide. You need you need to provide at least 2 ways the abduction was prevented. Okay, at least 2 ways. Okay, or if you can write more, then it's up to you. Okay, now first, let's discuss about, okay, the plot. Let's draft our plot first. Okay, what do you think happened? Okay, first, the setting. Let's discuss the settings. Okay. Our story or the abduction might take place maybe um, outside the school. Okay, here you have setting of place. Okay, maybe when. Okay, when can be okay, outside the school, after school maybe, after school, in the evening or afternoon. Okay, and the characters will be okay, characters, the main characters and also the kidnappers. Okay, main, minor. Okay, so you need to draft this first before you start writing your story. Okay, what about the rising action? Okay, okay, rising action, maybe you can write about, okay, someone grabbed and took me into a vehicles. Okay, something happened after school in the afternoon. Okay, the rising action, the problem would be start with someone grabbed and took me into a vehicles. Okay, so the kidnapping has started. Okay, what about the climax? Okay, the climax will be, okay, place or, sorry, vehicles, and then maybe the climax will be the kidnappers will ask for a ransom money from your parents. Okay, ask for money from your parents. Okay, next one, following action, solution. Okay, remember how the abduction was prevented? I mentioned you should at least give two ways. Okay, because it is ways. Okay, so the first one, let's say the first way would be, all right. Okay, maybe you notice the key, notice the key. Okay, second, okay, since you notice the key, you escape from the room. Okay, or lock the kidnappers inside. Okay, and how the stories end would be, obviously you are safe. Maybe the story end that you are safe, or you receive you receive um, awards for your bravery. Okay, so basically before you start writing, you need to draft. Okay, just write short notes in your plot before you start writing full stories. Okay, let's try and discuss the 5+1 sentences that you can use while telling the story about the abductions. Okay, maybe can you imagine what can you see before, or what can you see when you are being kidnapped? Okay, maybe, sorry, something wrong with my slide. Oh, what happened? Wait a minute, technical error here. Okay, I hope you can see. Okay, let me start sharing again. Sorry for the trouble. Okay, I'll start sharing now. All right. Okay, can you see it? Okay, sorry for the the suspense. Okay, see, this is the suspense element in the story today, in our story, in our session today. Okay, remember that we should add some suspense. Okay, this is the suspense part of it. Okay, first let's discuss what you can see. Maybe when you are being kidnapped, you are put at a room. So what can you see at the room? Okay, you see the keys, you see the furniture. Okay, at the room. Sorry, in the room. Okay, what can you hear? Okay, you can hear the kidnappers talking. Okay, here you can add dialogue. Okay, touch. What can you touch at the room? Okay, can you imagine what you touch there? Okay, maybe you touch the, okay, you felt the hard ground. Okay, your knee skin to the ground. Okay, touch the wall, the ground. Okay, and smell. Maybe because since the room is quite close, okay, it is an enclosed room, you smell something unpleasant. Okay, taste. If you do not have anything at that time, so you can skip. Okay, this one is optional. Okay, feel. Obviously, you will feel. Okay, you can say you feel scared, frightened, or you can say that you are calm at that moment because you know how to solve the problem. Okay, now let's have a look at the sample answer. Okay, this will be the beginning of the story, and the words that I highlighted with pink will indicating the first content point, which is C1, description of the abduction attempt. Okay, let's read it together. On a breezy afternoon, I was walking home from school when I heard someone call my name. Sorry. I turned around and suddenly someone grabbed me. I tried to scream, but the person covered my mouth with their hand. Then they pushed me inside the car and put a bag over my head. Oh my God, I'm being kidnapped. Okay, here in the beginning, as, as I mentioned, as I explained earlier, in the beginning, we should have setting first. So let's identify the setting. Okay, here, the first setting will be the setting of time. Okay, this on breezy afternoon. Okay, when it happened? When he was walking home from school. Okay, it means that it is outside school. He has not reached the house yet, the home yet. Okay, maybe on her way to, maybe on his way, on her way. Okay, then the character will be himself, the character, the person itself. It is called as first person punya point of view. Okay, and someone called me. Okay, this is the description number 1. The first description of how the abduction happened. Okay, someone called me and grabbed me. Okay, this is the second description. After she was being grabbed, okay, her mouth was covered. Okay, this will be description number 3. As if it does not stop there, okay, she was pushed inside the car and a bag was put on over her head, okay, to make her have no clues. Okay, for okay, just to make things worse, a bag was put over her head. Okay, and please focus here. This is what I said. You can add dialogue. Okay, and if you notice here, dialogue, the person use present tense. While the rest of the story of the paragraph use past tense. Okay, and I also would like you to focus on this one. Then. Okay, then is referring to cohesive devices. Cohesive devices, use of cohesive devices is very important in your writing because it's actually link your ideas together or link the series of events that you are trying to connect. Okay, it connect your whole idea, the whole event together. Okay, next we have rising action. Again, in rising action, we still talks about the description. Okay, just now it is not, it is still not a vivid description. It is only the first layer of description. Okay, after some time, the car finally come to a stop. Someone took me outside and dropped me on the ground. Okay, do you remember that her head, her eyes was covered? So here, dropped me on the ground. So she felt the ground. This is what we call as touch. Okay, the sense of touch. Okay. I slowly got up and they took off the bag from my head. Okay, so here, okay, another description. Description number 4 or 5. Forgot. Okay, 5. Okay, next one. One of the kidnappers said, "You want to know why you are here?" Okay, this one said, dialogue. This will be referring to the sense of here. Okay, one of the kidnappers said, "You want to know why you are here? Your father works at jewelry store, so we kidnap you and are asking your father to treat you with all the jewels in the shops." Okay, this is basically all of the things that the character hear from the kidnappers. Okay, okay, and this one again another description about the abduction attempt. The reason she was kidnapped. Okay, next one. This one is rising action. Let's go to the climax. Okay, climax. For climax, maybe we can put the, what we call it, we can put the ways to solve the problem. Okay, number 1. What should I do? Okay, it is better to say "oh my god" or "oh my lord" in narrative writing by using phrase type pyramid method in the abduction essay. Okay, I would not suggest you to use acronym. Okay, for part 3, please avoid using acronym. Okay, acronym or short form. Okay, you should write in full spelling. Okay, so do not use OMG here, right? But you can say yes, "oh my lord." Okay, full one, in full one. Okay, what should I do? Again, I thought to myself, right? They left the door unlocked. Okay, this one will be the description to show how the problem was solved. The yellow one will indicating the ways. Okay, ways 1. Okay, 1. I slowly opened the door and looked outside the window. Okay, this one supplement for this, to see what the kidnappers were just outside, and that one of them was on the phone. I heard him talking. "Mr. Harun, if you want your little girl, then you should give me all your jewels." Again, this is dialogue using dialogues. I stepped back from the window. I turned around the room and noticed the key were on a wall. Okay, stay tuned. Okay, here first, the character said she noticed the door was unlocked. And then the second thing that she noticed here is the keys were on the wall. Okay, what do you think she will do? Okay, let's proceed. Okay, then after she noticed that the key was in the room, okay, she started to yell. I went back to my place and yelled and started yelling, "Help, help, someone please help me." Okay, here again, she used writing dialogues. Okay, then all of the kidnappers came into the room. Okay, after this one is again way. Okay, the descriptions of way. Okay, all of a sudden the kidnappers came into the room. Okay, after the kidnappers went into the room, okay, here, I got out, shut and locked the door. Okay, she used whatever the thing that she had just now. She found a key and then she do some trick. She pulled a trick on the kidnappers actually. Okay, she put all the kidnappers into the room and she actually locked them inside. So the kidnappers asked her, "How did you do that?" One of them asked. Okay, so she replied, "You did not lock the door." Okay, this is some kind of plot twist, right? Okay. Last one, this will be the ending. When I walked outside, I saw a phone. Okay, so here, the second thing that she did, the way would be this one. Way number 2. Okay, she called the police. Okay, when they arrived, they were surprised to see me sitting outside and the kidnappers locked in the room. Okay, then the next day, okay, this will be the resolution. I received an award and cash prize for capturing the criminal. It turned out that the criminals were the criminals on the run. Okay, here, okay, here if you notice, the description is not quite detailed. Okay, because this is a sample answer for I use for intermediate level. So if you are an advanced level, you can always add another details like dialogue, the literary device, or you can put, as I mentioned, you can put sound, the 5+1 senses. Okay, it's basically up to you. All right. Okay, so let's have a recap. Okay. Let's have a recap about the structure for the plot. Okay, for the plot. Okay, the first one, do you still remember the first plot, the first element in the plot? Okay, sorry. The first element in the plot will be, okay, this will be just a quick wrap up session before I end our program, our tuition today, right? Okay, so the first element in free-type pyramid in writing plot will be we call it as exposition. And do you still remember what did I mention about exposition? What should we write in exposition? First, we can write about the settings. Okay, do you still remember how many settings do we have? Okay, we have settings of place, time, and character. And character, we have 2 types, which is protagonist and antagonist. Okay, and what else? What are the other things that we can write in our exposition? Okay, we can write about the hint or topic. Okay, we can hint our audience about the topic for our writing. Okay, what our story will be about. Okay, next one. The second element in the plot, it will be rising action. Okay, rising action will be, to make things simple for you, to simplify things for you will be, rising action will be, be the starts of the crisis, issue, or problem. Okay, here it means that in rising action, you introduce the crisis, the issues, and the problem. Okay, you just introduce what actually had happened. Okay, and the third element, at the tip of your free type pyramid, we have the climax. Okay, what did I mention about climax? Okay, if you still remember, I said climax will indicate the worst point of the crisis. Or you can talk about the effects from the crisis, the worst point or the worst effect of the crisis. Okay, after we have the worst point or after we suffer from the crisis, we should come out with solution. Okay, for solution, we put it at following action. Okay, following action is where we provide solution. Okay, who can make the solution? Who can come out with the solution? Is it only depend on the character, the main character, or any other character can come out with the solution? Okay, the answer is basically any character. Okay, it can be the main character, it can be the parents, or it can be the minor character. Okay, basically, any character can come out with a solution and can solve the problem. Okay, and last one, we have the resolution. Okay, resolution means the ending. Okay, what kind of ending can you write in your narrative? What kind of ending? Can you write just basically only on moral values? Okay, for ending, okay, for ending here, as I think I have actually explained this earlier on. Okay, for ending, you can write about, obviously, the moral values. Okay, this is the most popular one among the students. Write about the moral values after the story. Okay, second, you can give promise or promises, okay, not to do it again or to be very careful. Okay, that will be the promise that you have done, that you make. Okay, next, maybe for ending, you can also provide, okay, you can also write your ending by showing gratitude. Okay, or you can write about, okay, the general or the positive effects. Okay, the positive effect after the crisis. And okay, all of this style of writing ending will give the audience or the readers some kind of closure for your story. No one will prefer the story without ending. Okay, no one love to see drama without ending. Okay, the same case with you. I don't think you love watching movies. Watching movies will be without ending. Happy ending, yes, acap. Happy ending usually for a person like me. Yeah, you can write happy endings. Okay, yeah. Obviously, most students write so like about happy ending. Most okay happy ending, but you can also end your story with sad ending, or you can end it with a life-changing experience. Okay, basically, but to make things simple for you, yes, you can write about happy ending. All right. Okay, basically, that will be all for my session today. Okay, so before I end my session, I would like to give credit to these few panels. Okay, the first one obviously will be my credit or my gratitude goes to Majlis Datuk-Datuk Negeri Melaka because MDDM actually the main sponsor of our program, the free online tuition via YouTube. It is in collaboration with Pejabat Pendidikan Daerah Jasin, and obviously I would like to give my utmost respect to the panels of module Gemilang 3.0 Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Melaka and also the panel from module Masyur PPD Jasin. Okay, with the help of the module, I can create my material for my lesson and also for our sessions. Okay, with that, I end my session with Assalamualaikum and best of luck. Thank you for listening.